Pack your things. I stared at my dad like he'd just spoken another language. What? Richard Hale stood near the door, arms crossed, face stiff. You heard me. Rain hit the windows hard, like it was angry too. I didn't do anything, I said. I just lost one interview. One. You've lost everything, he snapped. Your job. Your direction. Your pride. I laughed, sharp and tired. That's rich coming from you. Don't, my mom whispered. I turned to her. Don't what? Defend myself. Linda Hale stood by the couch, hands shaking. She wouldn't look at me. She never did when things got hard. You're 30, my dad said, and still living under my roof. I paid rent, I said. I helped. You barely survived, he said. Your brother thrives. I clenched my fists. This isn't about Ethan. Ethan walked in like he owned the room. Actually, it is. I glared at him. Nobody asked you. He smirked. Dad's right. You're dead weight. My chest burned. You failed out twice. And still landed on my feet, he said. Unlike you. Enough, my mom said, weak and thin. I looked at her. You're really okay with this? She swallowed. Your father thinks it's best. That's it? I asked. No fight. No defense. Her silence answered me. My dad grabbed a duffel bag and tossed it at my feet. Take your junk and go. I stared at the bag. You're kicking me out. In the rain. You made your choices, he said. So did you, I said. His jaw tightened. Get out. I bent down, shoving clothes inside with shaking hands. You're doing this because I'm not Ethan. That's not fair, my mom whispered. Neither is this, I said. Ethan laughed softly. You'll be fine. Maybe. I stood up, bag over my shoulder. I hope losing me was worth it. My dad opened the door. Cold rain hit my face. Good luck, he said, already turning away. The door slammed. The lock clicked. I stood there, staring at wood that used to mean home. I walked until my legs hurt. Rain soaked my shirt. Cars passed without slowing. I pulled out my wallet, the old leather cracked and soft. Grandpa Walter's wallet. I remembered his voice. Keep this safe. Only use it if you really need it. I'd laughed back then. It's just a card, Grandpa. It's more than that, he said. I sat on a bus bench, shivering. I'm sorry, I whispered to no one. I opened the wallet. Inside was that black card. No logo. No numbers I recognized. Just my name. I laughed bitterly. Guess this is it. I pressed the wallet to my chest. They really did it, I said out loud. No answer. The rain kept falling. I woke up on the bench with my back screaming and my mouth dry. Great, I muttered. Still alive. An old man walking his dog glanced at me. Rough night. You could say that, I said. He nodded like he understood and kept walking. I stared at the gray sky. Grandpa, you always said mornings meant second chances, I whispered. I hope you were right. His voice came back clear in my head. Don't lose this card, kid. I didn't, I said quietly. I just never knew why it mattered. I pulled out the wallet. The black card sat there like it always had. Simple. Heavy. My name engraved clean and sharp. I remembered asking him once, "What bank is it?" He smiled. The quiet kind. I laughed then. I wasn't laughing now. My stomach growled. All right, I said. Emergency it is. The diner smelled like grease and coffee. A waitress looked at me and frowned. You ordering or just warming up? I'm ordering, I said. Promise. She dropped a menu. 5 minutes. I ordered eggs and toast. She asked for payment first. I slid the card across the table. Will this work? She squinted. What is this? A card, I said. She tried the reader. It beeped once, then twice, then stopped. She frowned harder. Sir, this isn't going through. That figures, I said. Just cancel it. She handed it back. You might want to try a bank. Yeah, I said. Thanks. I ate slow, paid with the last cash I had, and walked back outside. The bank was quiet. Too quiet. I stepped up to the counter. Hi. The teller smiled. Good morning. How can I help you? I just want to know if this card is real, I said. Her smile faded. May I see it? I slid it over. Her face drained of color. One moment. I just need a yes or no, I said. She stood up fast. Please wait. I crossed my arms. I'm not in a rush. She disappeared. A minute passed. Then two. A man in a suit rushed out. He stopped when he saw me. His eyes locked on the card. Sir, he said carefully, I'm James Whitmore. Nice to meet you, I said. Can I have my card back? He swallowed. May we talk in private? I laughed once. Is this a joke? No, he said. It's not. He led me into an office. The teller followed, quiet. James closed the door. Where did you get this card? My grandfather, I said. Walter Hale. He froze. You're his grandson. I guess, I said. Is that a problem? He sat down slowly. Emily, please confirm the account. The teller nodded, fingers shaking. It's verified. I frowned. Why are you both acting like I pulled a gun? James leaned forward. Sir, do you know what you're holding? A useless piece of plastic, I said. So far. Emily looked at me. It's not useless. Then what is it? I snapped. Because I'm hungry and tired and I don't have time for games. James took a breath. This card is linked to a private legacy account. Okay, I said. And? He hesitated. The balance is $1.2 billion. I laughed. Loud. Good one. He didn't smile. I stopped laughing. Say that again. 1.2 billion, he repeated. My ears rang. You mean 1,000? No, he said. Billion. I stood up. That's impossible. James met my eyes. It's not. I shook my head. My grandpa fixed cars. He invested quietly, James said. Very quietly. Emily whispered, We're not supposed to talk about it. I sat back down. You're telling me I slept on a bench last night? Yes, James said. And this money was sitting there? Yes. My hands started shaking. Why me? James answered softly. Because he trusted you. I looked at the card again. He told me not to lose it. Emily nodded. I think he meant it. I closed my eyes. My parents kicked me out. James said nothing. I laughed once, broken and sharp. They chose wrong. The room stayed silent. I finally said, Don't tell anyone. James nodded immediately. Of course. I stood up. I need air. James opened the door. Welcome home, he said. I didn't answer. I sat across from James in a quiet room and rubbed my hands together. You're sure this isn't a mistake? James shook his head. I've checked it 3 times. Check it again, I said. Please. He met my eyes. Your grandfather was very careful. I laughed under my breath. He fixed engines. He fixed futures, James said. I leaned back. Start from the beginning. James folded his hands. Walter Hale invested early. Shipping. Energy. Tech. He never said a word, I said. That was the point, James replied. He didn't want attention. I swallowed. My parents laughed at him. James nodded. I know. You know. I snapped. He came here often, James said. Alone. I closed my eyes. He told stories nobody believed. James continued, he used shell partnerships. Why hide it? I asked. To protect you, James said. My chest tightened. Protect us from what? Greed, James said. And entitlement. I laughed bitterly. Too late. James didn't argue. I said. He let them ignore him. He chose peace, James replied. I remembered my dad saying, "Old men exaggerate." I whispered, "We treated him like a joke." James spoke softly. He noticed. I looked up. "Then why leave it to me?" James answered, "Because you listened." "That's not true," I said. "I was broke." "You were kind," James said. I shook my head. "I didn't save him." "He saved you," James replied. Silence pressed down on me. I asked, "When did he do this?" 6 months before he passed, James said. "Without telling anyone?" "Yes," he said. I clenched my jaw. "My parents kicked me out yesterday." James winced. "I'm sorry." I laughed. "They threw away everything." James said nothing. I asked, "Does my family know?" "No," James said. "Anyone else?" "Only me," he replied. I nodded slowly. "Good." James leaned forward. "What will you do?" "I won't run back," I said. "You could," he offered. "I won't," I repeated. James studied me. "Why?" "Because love shouldn't be earned twice," I said. James nodded. "That's wise." "I'm not wise," I said. "I'm angry." "That's allowed," he said. I stood up. They chose pride. James stood too. "And you choose silence." "For now," I said. James opened a folder. "There are details." "I don't want numbers," I said. "I want truth." James closed it. "Then hear this." I waited. "He loved you," James said. My throat burned. "He never said it." "He showed it," James replied. I whispered, "I failed him." James shook his head. "You survived." I turned toward the door. "Don't contact them." "I won't," James promised. I paused. "If they ask." "I'll say nothing," he said. I nodded. "Thank you," James said quietly. He would be proud. I stepped outside the room and breathed in. I wasn't smiling. I was finally awake. I sat back down instead of leaving. "Tell me more," I said. James looked relieved. "About the investments?" "About him," I said. James nodded. "He asked about you every time." I frowned. "What did he say?" "He asked if you were still trying," James replied. I laughed weakly. "Trying what?" "Trying to be yourself," he said. I pressed my lips together. "My parents never asked." James said, "Walter noticed that too." I rubbed my face. "They said he was useless." James's voice hardened. "He funded half this building." I blinked. "They mocked his stories." "He built those stories," James said. I whispered, "He sat alone at holidays." James nodded slowly, and still smiled. I clenched my fists. "Why didn't he tell me?" "He didn't want to burden you," James replied. "With what?" I asked. "Hope." "With expectations," he said. I shook my head. "He deserved better." "He knew," James said. "That's why he chose you." I asked, "Did he ever regret it?" James answered immediately. "Never." I swallowed hard. "He gave me a card." James smiled faintly. "He said you'd understand." I laughed through my nose. "I didn't." "He said you would when it mattered," James said. I stared at the table. "It mattered last night." "Yes," James agreed. I whispered, "I slept outside." James exhaled sharply. "He would hate that." "I hated it," I said. James leaned closer. "Then don't repeat it." I looked up. "I don't want revenge." James paused. "You don't need it." "I want them to feel it," I said. "They will," he replied. "How?" I asked. "By losing control," James said. I nodded slowly. "I won't announce anything." "That's wise," he said again. I said, "I'll let them talk." James smiled slightly. "And wonder." I stood. "I need time." James handed me a phone. Call me anytime. I took it. You're helping me. Oh, Walter, James said. I asked, why? He believed in me too, James replied. I breathed out. He believed in broken things. He believed in potential, James corrected. I walked to the door. I won't waste it, James said. Then you already honor him. I opened the door and stopped. One more thing. Yes, James asked. I said quietly, if they come begging. James answered, you don't have to open the door. I nodded once. Good. I walked away feeling heavy but steady. For the first time, I chose myself. I stepped into the hallway and muttered, I'm still standing. No one answered. I checked the card again. You planned everything, I whispered. I imagined Grandpa saying, only when you're ready. I said aloud, I am now. James called after me. Take care. I will, I said. I walked past the teller. Emily looked up. Are you okay? I will be, I said. She hesitated. He loved you. I know, I replied. Outside, I said quietly, they'll never see me coming. The air felt cold but clean. I didn't look back. I walked forward. I whispered, this isn't revenge. I paused. It's survival. I tucked the card away. I won't disappear, I said. I'll rise quietly. And for the first time, I meant it. The night felt less heavy, and my future finally felt mine alone. Forever. I looked around the apartment and said, this still feels fake. Sarah smiled. That's normal. I nodded. Yesterday, I slept on a bench. And today, you're sitting on a couch you picked yourself, she said. That matters. I don't feel powerful, I said. That's good, she replied. Power shows up later. I watched her write notes. You don't act different. Different how? She asked. Careful, I said. Greedy. She laughed. I don't know your balance yet. On purpose, I said. She looked up. You asked me not to. I wanted to see how you'd treat me. And? She asked. Like a person, I said. She nodded. That's my job. I leaned back. My family never did that. Sarah paused. Do you want to talk about them? Not today, I said. That's fine, she replied. I stood by the window later and said, I bought new clothes. Congratulations, she said. That shouldn't feel like an achievement, I replied. It does when you had nothing, she said. I smiled faintly. I guess. She packed her bag. We'll meet weekly. I'll be here, I said. After she left, I sat alone and said, You'd like her, Grandpa. The room didn't answer. I checked my phone. No missed calls. I said, Figures. Later, I met Marcus in his office. He extended a hand. Marcus Lee. I know, I said. James mentioned you. He smiled. I handle boring things. I like boring, I said. He opened a folder. Trust structures. Legal firewalls. I raised a hand. Explain like I'm stupid. He nodded. You're protected. From who? I asked. Everyone, he said. I leaned forward. Including my family? Yes, Marcus said. I exhaled. Good. He said, You don't plan to announce anything? No, I replied. Marcus smiled slightly. Smart. I'm not hiding, I said. I'm waiting. For what? He asked. For them to show me who they are, I said. Marcus closed the folder. They already did. I stood up. I need time. You have it, he said. I walked out and said quietly, I won't rush this. Days passed. I kept checking social media. I said, Why am I doing this? No answer. I saw my dad's post. Business is tough, but family matters. I laughed. That's new. I checked my mom's page. No photos. Just quotes about faith. I whispered, Now you pray. Ethan posted a photo with a sports car. I said, You never learn. I imagined calling them. I said out loud. What would I even say? I pictured my dad answering, "What do you want?" I pictured myself saying, "Everything you threw away." I shook my head. No. At night, I lay in bed and said, "Power is quiet." I heard Grandpa's voice. "Don't shout." I closed my eyes. "I won't." Sarah called one afternoon. "How are you sleeping?" "Better," I said. "And thinking?" she asked. "Too much," I admitted. She laughed softly. "That's healing." "I imagine revenge," I said. She didn't flinch. And it feels empty," I said. "That's because it is," she replied. I said, "They hurt me." "Yes," she said. "But you're not them." I sat up. "What if I forgive?" "You don't have to decide now," she said. I nodded. "I won't." Marcus emailed later. "Your assets are stable." I replied, "I don't want noise." He wrote back, "Then stay invisible." I smiled. "I can do that." Weeks passed. I saw my dad at a grocery store from far away. I hid behind a shelf. I whispered, "I hate that I still care." He looked tired. I said, "You don't look powerful anymore." I walked away. That night I said, "I could fix everything." I remembered the door slamming. I said, "You didn't fix me." I stayed silent. Sarah asked, "Any regrets?" "No," I said. "Just memories." She nodded. "Those fade." "Do they?" I asked. "They change," she said. I watched rain hit the window again. I said, "They think I'm still nothing." Sarah smiled gently. "And that's your shield." I laughed. "They'd laugh if they knew." "They don't need to," she said. I nodded. "I'm not proving anything." She said, "You already survived." I whispered, "I'll let life talk." She stood up. "That's strength." After she left, I sat alone and said, "I'm still here." The silence felt lighter. I checked my phone again. Still no calls. I said, "Good." I lay back and stared at the ceiling. "I won't knock," I said. "I won't beg. I won't announce." I closed my eyes. I'll let them think I'm still nothing. And for once, that felt like everything. I heard about my dad's business before I heard his voice. Sarah said, "Have you seen the news?" I asked, "Which part?" She hesitated. "Hale Industrial is under investigation." I exhaled slowly. "Fraud. Negligence," she said. "He didn't stop it." I leaned back. "He never stopped anything." Sarah watched me. "How do you feel?" "Nothing," I said. "That scares me." "It shouldn't," she replied. "It means you're steady." Later that night, Marcus called. "You're not involved." "I didn't think I was," I said. "Your firewall held," he added. "Good," I said. He paused. "Your brother, though." I laughed once. "Ethan." "Crypto losses," Marcus said. "Bad ones." I shook my head. "He never listened." Marcus said, "They're bleeding." I closed my eyes. "I didn't cause this." "No," Marcus agreed. "You didn't." After the call, I sat alone and said, "This isn't revenge." The phone buzzed an hour later. Oh. I stared at the screen. "You waited months." I answered. "Hello." Her voice cracked. "It's me." "I know," I said. She inhaled sharply. "How are you?" I almost laughed. "Why?" "Because you're my son," she said. I said nothing. She whispered, "Your father is in trouble." "I heard," I said. "We're struggling," she added. I stayed quiet. She said, "Ethan made mistakes." "He always does," I said. She flinched. "Please don't be cruel." I replied calmly, "I'm not." She took a breath. "We need help." The word hung there. I said, "You kicked me out." She cried. "I know." I said, "You watched." "I was scared," she whispered. "So was I said. She sobbed. "I didn't think it would get this bad." I looked at the wall. Neither did I. She said, your father won't ask. I figured, I said. But I will, she said. I'm asking. I felt my chest tighten. For what? For support, she said. Just until. Until what? I asked. Until we recover, she replied. I remembered the door closing. I remembered the rain. I remembered my bag hitting the floor. I said quietly, I can't. She gasped. You can't. I won't, I corrected. Her voice broke. Why? Because you taught me something, I said. What? She asked. Love disappears when it's inconvenient, I said. She cried harder. That's not true. It was for me, I said. She whispered, we're family. I said, family doesn't lock doors. Silence stretched. She said, your father is different now. I'm different too, I said. She asked, do you hate us? I answered honestly, no. Then help, she begged. I closed my eyes. I can't save you, she whispered. We raised you. You broke me, I replied. She inhaled sharply. I'm sorry. I know, I said. Is it too late? She asked. I paused. For what? For forgiveness, she said. I said, I forgive you. Her breath caught. Then, but forgiveness isn't rescue, I said. She went quiet. I added, I'm not yelling. I can hear that, she said softly. I'm not insulting you, I continued. No, she whispered. I'm just not coming back, I said. She cried quietly. What do we do? I said, figure it out. She asked, that's it. That's it, I replied. She whispered, you've changed. Yes, I said. She said, your father will be furious. I'm not scared anymore, I said. She went silent. I heard my dad in the background shouting. She covered the phone. He wants to talk. No, I said. She pleaded, please. I said, tell him this. What? She asked. Tell him the door closed twice, I said. She sniffed. I don't understand. He will, I replied. I hung up. My hands shook. I said out loud, that hurt. The phone rang again. Ethan. I laughed. Of course. I answered. What do you want? You smug bastard, he snapped. I said, nice to hear from you. You think you won, he said. I didn't play, I replied. You always thought you were better, he shouted. I never did, I said. You could help, he said. You just won't. You never helped me, I replied. He yelled, this is different. No, I said. It's the same. He cursed. You're heartless. I said, you're reckless. He growled, Dad will lose everything. I replied, he taught us risk. Ethan shouted, you're enjoying this. I answered, I'm surviving. He hung up. I set the phone down and said, that was worse than silence. Later, Sarah called. You okay? I said no, I told her. She asked, how did it feel? Like standing still in a storm, I said. She said, you didn't cause this. I know, I replied. She added, you didn't stop it either. I paused. Neither did he. She sighed. Karma doesn't ask permission. I said, neither did they. That night, I sat in the dark and said, I almost saved them. I remembered the lock clicking. I whispered, almost. I slept without dreaming. In the morning, I felt lighter. I said, I'm not the one begging anymore. And that changed everything. I stood backstage and said, this feels wrong. Sarah looked at me. Why? I don't like stages, I said. You're not here for you, she replied. I nodded. I'm here for him. She smiled. Walter Hale. Yes, I said. An assistant waved. You're up next. I stepped out as applause filled the room. The host said, tonight's largest donation honors a man who believed in quiet impact. I swallowed. He continued, given in the name of Walter Hale. Cameras flashed. And accepted by his grandson. My name echoed. I saw my parents freeze. My dad's mouth fell open. My mom gripped his arm. I took the microphone. My grandfather never wanted attention. The room went silent. He believed in doing good without asking for credit, I said. More flashes. I'm proud to carry his name, I finished. Applause rose. I stepped down. My legs shook. Sarah whispered, "You did fine." I nodded. They saw. "They're coming," she said. I turned. My mom rushed toward me. "It's you." "Yes," I said. She touched my arm. "This is real." "It always was," I said. My dad stared. "You." I met his eyes. "Me." He whispered, "How?" I said, "Grandpa." My mom cried. "We didn't know." I replied, "You didn't ask." My dad snapped, "Why didn't you tell us?" I said, "Why didn't you listen?" He clenched his fists. "You hid this." "No," I said. "You ignored it." My mom sobbed. "We're sorry." I said nothing. She grabbed my hand. "Please." I gently pulled away. My dad said, "We made mistakes." "You made choices," I said. He shook his head. "We were under pressure." "So was I said. My mom said, "We love you." I answered, "You loved control." She flinched. My dad whispered, "We raised you." "You broke me," I replied. My mom cried harder. "We didn't mean to." "Intent doesn't erase impact," I said. My dad looked smaller. "We lost everything." I said calmly, "You lost me first." He whispered, "You're punishing us." I shook my head. "I'm surviving." My mom said, "Can we fix this?" I paused. "No." She gasped. "Why?" "Because you taught me love has conditions," I said. My dad said, "We're your parents." "And I was your son," I replied. Silence pressed between us. My mom whispered, "You're different." "Yes," I said. My dad asked, "Do you hate us?" "No," I said. "Then why walk away?" he asked. I answered, "Because staying would break me again." My mom reached out. "Please don't go." I stepped back. "This isn't anger," she cried. "Then what is it?" "It's clarity," I said. My dad swallowed. "You're rich now." I shook my head. "I was valuable before." He flinched. I said, "You didn't lose me when I got money." My mom looked up. "You lost me when you chose pride over love," I finished. My dad closed his eyes. My mom whispered, "We didn't know how." "You didn't try," I said. Security hovered nearby. Sarah stepped closer. My dad said quietly, "We're sorry." I nodded. "I believe you." Hope flashed in my mom's eyes. "But belief doesn't mean return," I added. She collapsed against my dad. He whispered, "This is goodbye." "For now," I said. He nodded once. I turned away. My mom called, "We're proud of you." I stopped. I said over my shoulder, "I wish that mattered sooner." I walked down the hall. Sarah followed. "You okay?" "I will be," I said. "That was brave," she said. "It was necessary," I replied. Outside, cold air hit my face. I said, "I didn't shake." Sarah smiled. "You stood." I nodded. I chose. Cameras shouted questions. I ignored them. I got into the car. Sarah asked, "Any regrets?" "No," I said. She leaned back. "You closed the loop." I stared out the window. I opened myself. The car pulled away. I whispered, "I'm not running." Sarah said softly, "You never were." I closed my eyes. This time, I walked away whole. I said quietly, "Goodbye," and meant it. I stood in front of the stone and said, "I finally came." The wind answered instead. I crouched down. I needed time. I imagined Grandpa's voice. "You always did." I smiled sadly. "You knew." I touched the cold stone. They found out. Silence. I didn't scream, I said. You'd be proud. I imagined him chuckling. I hoped you wouldn't. I walked away, I said. Again. I waited. I chose myself, I added. The air felt calm. I used your name, I said. To help people. I pictured his nod. Good. I didn't save them, I said. I swallowed. I didn't ruin them either. Leaves rustled. I forgave them, I whispered. My chest tightened. Not for them. I wiped my face. For me. I laughed softly. That took strength. I imagined him saying, "You always had it." I was scared, I admitted. Even with everything. I shook my head. Especially with everything. I sat on the grass. Money didn't fix me. I exhaled. Losing them did. I closed my eyes. They kicked me out. I opened them. And saved my life. I imagined him saying, "Pain teaches." I learned my worth, I said. I smiled. It wasn't negotiable. I leaned back. They taught me love with limits. I shook my head. You taught me love without conditions. The wind brushed my face. I'm free, I said. I waited. I don't owe anyone proof, I continued. I don't owe them rescue. I don't owe them forgiveness, I added. But I gave it anyway. I laughed quietly. That surprised me. I imagined him replying, "Growth does that." I thought revenge would feel good, I said. I shook my head. It felt loud. I lowered my voice. This feels quiet. I pressed my palm into the dirt. This feels right. I remembered sleeping on that bench. I said, I thought I was nothing. I smiled. I was wrong. I stood up slowly. You never saw me as small. I imagined him saying, "You just hadn't stood yet." I'm standing now, I said. I looked around the empty cemetery. No audience. I nodded. That's better. I took a deep breath. I won't visit often. I paused. Not because I don't care. But because I carry you, I said. I smiled through tears. Everywhere. I turned to leave, then stopped. One more thing. I whispered, "Thank you." I walked away lighter. Later, I sat in my apartment and said, "It's quiet." Sarah had said once, "That's peace." I poured coffee and said, "I don't miss the chaos." I checked my phone. No messages. I smiled. Good. I thought about my parents. I said, "I hope they heal." I shrugged. That's their work. I thought about Ethan. I sighed. I hope he learns. I didn't wait for answers. I looked at the card on the table. I said, "You were never the gift." I slid it back into the wallet. The choice was, I said. I remembered the door slamming. I laughed softly. Best push I ever got. I walked to the window. I said, "I'm not angry anymore." The city lights blinked back. "I'm not broken," I added. I touched my chest. "I'm solid." I whispered. They lost control. I gained freedom, I said. I sat down and closed my eyes. I imagined Grandpa saying, "Live well." "I will," I said. I opened my eyes. Quietly. I breathed out. I said, "This is justice." I paused. Not loud. Not cruel, I added. Complete, I finished. I leaned back and smiled. I kept the only thing that ever mattered. My voice was steady. Me.